Okay guys, I'm doing something different. We're changing the oil in the long 900, which a little different, but like anything else, get yourself an appropriate sized bucket. This tractor holds 10 quarts. Get your bucket ready, take your drain plug, which in this case is a big one. Hold your bucket up, because you know it's going to come gushing out, and voila. Thick, big, heavy plug. Thick, big, heavy oil too. This tractor was built in the mid-70s, and everything from that era basically takes straight 30 weight motor oil. However, the 30 weight motor oil you buy today is not the same as it was when this tractor was built. You got to have a little bit heavier oil. So I'm running straight 40 weight diesel oil. It's a little different in the fact that this tractor does not have an oil filter. It has a centrifuge. So you take this nut on top loose. Take it off. Be careful there is an O-ring on it. Get it work back. Pull the cover off. Now, I'm hoping my adjustable is big enough. Nope. Okay. So, we'll be back here in a minute once I get the right wrench for this and this finishes dripping out. It's a centrifuge, and as it uses the engine oil to propel this faster, and that slings any heavy particulates out of the filter. We're going to have to do a little finagling. I got to find a big adjustable to get that off, because that's a big nut holding that on. So we'll be back here in just a minute. Okay. After you break this nut loose on top, which it's a big nut. Oh, are you kidding me? I don't remember this being... Oh. Well, I guess it is going to be that big of a pain. It would appear I need to take the line off. Unless I can get this fitting to move just that much. It might come out of there. Apparently not. It's been a while since I've done this. So, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, but well, I have to. That means I'm going to have to hand pump the oil lift pump to get the air out of the system now. I really didn't want to do, but sometimes that's what you end up doing. Get that up there. Okay. It's got jets in it to make it turn. Whoops. And I gotta unscrew this now. Okay. Never said this was easy. But this is made so a farmer can do it. Oh. Well, let me get this thing taken apart and we'll get at it. I get this thing taken apart, I'll show you the inside, so hang on. Okay. To get this cover off, it dries out. Now, as I said, this is a centrifuge. It uses oil pressure to spin it. So any heavy particulates get slung out to this outside edge. And you end up with stuff like this. Now, mind you, it's been quite a while since I took this apart, and it is rather nasty. As you can see there's chunks like find a screwdriver. There are chunks of stuff in this. This is just, that's tar, that's gum, that's heavy particulates, carbon buildup. What have you. And it's, as you can see, that's chunks. but that's what it's made to do, is spin this oil, and anything that's in there that's heavy, it separates it out. That's what a centrifuge does. So I'm going to get to cleaning this. Yeah. Nice chunks. And I will get back with you. Whoops. And get this thing cleaned up and put back together. I've also got to clean that mesh filter right here out too. So hang around, I'll be back in a few minutes. Get some of this mess cleaned up. Hang on. Okay guys, now I'm going to drain the injector pump. There's a bolt under here to drain it with. I call this basically kind of break-in oil, what's in it. Of course it's metric, so it's 14 millimeter. Kind of in that. It's better to change it and let it drain out. For the simple fact, it is a new pump, and I ran it for about an hour, bringing it home. And I would say at this point, it's ready for fresh oil. I might be wrong, I don't know. It can't hurt to change it. So, while that's doing that, we can reassemble the centrifuge, which is this part. It's all nice and clean. The base and the screen are all nice. Simply goes inside of it and pops together. It's got an O-ring around this to seal it. So, that being done, get on there. Okay. Put our nut back on. Big wrench. And this is not the most convenient thing to get a hold of with this wrench, I'll tell you that. Now get our cheater. Always nice to have one of these chain wrenches. Okay, that's done. Put our handy dandy clean cover back on. Filters back together and on. these back on. Actually, should have left that one out. That's my level check. That doesn't say in the book to change it after installing a new pump. However, it's like anything else. This is a cam style piston pump. So, it can't hurt to change the oil in it. So let me get some oil and get to filling it up here in just a moment. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is what came out of that centrifuge. That's all heavy particulates that have been spun out of the oil. It does what it's supposed to do as far as that goes. And my washout bucket, there's no metallic I see in it. It's just basically crud. I got to thinking about it, and it's been quite a few years since I had this apart. Like I say, it hasn't run for the last 3 years. I've owned it for 10. So I would say 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe, I had this apart. Because it says to clean it every 200 hours. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, we'll be back here in a minute, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to fill the injector pump with oil. There's a plug up here, or you can shoot it in this hole if you want to. It's a whole lot easier to do it. Well, you can do it this way, or you can go through the top. When it comes out, it's full. I can get the silly plug in. So now the injector pump is full of oil. You can give it, if you want, a squeeze more, just a little more, just for your own satisfaction. That should be enough. And reinstall the plug. Real convenient, by the way. Snug it up, and that's done. Now, being this is a new pump, and oil being what it is today, this being a cam style pump, I felt it necessary to mix some STP in this bottle and shake it up good before I put it in there. Now, I want to make my little say about motor oil. I personally don't care one way or the other what anybody uses. That's entirely up to you. People and their oil are like buttholes. Everybody's got one, and everybody thinks theirs is the best. So use whatever oil you want. It doesn't matter to me. The only thing I would suggest, if you buy a tractor, you don't know what kind of oil it is, get a book and see what it says, what type of oil it takes. And I can tell you for a fact, nothing built before probably 1980, as far as a diesel, used 1540 in it. They weren't made for it. They were made to run a straight weight oil. This being a European tractor, European oils were always a little heavier than American. See, I had to take that into consideration. The book says 30 weight. Well, the 30 weight you buy now is what a 10W40 used to be. It's a 30 weight designed for a brand new engine. Not something 40, 50 years old like these old tractors. So you have to take that into consideration. So I run a straight 40 weight diesel motor oil. And yes, it is Wolf's Head. And yes, a lot of people say it's garbage oil and it's the worst thing I can put in it. But this is the only thing that I can find heavy enough for the tractor. And I haven't had any problems with it, to be quite honest. So I run it. You can run whatever kind of oils you want. It does not matter to me. It's not my equipment. I just go by what the manufacturers of this tractor said to put in it. So do not put in the comments, I should be using Shell Rotella because it's the greatest thing going. No, it's not. It's garbage oil as far as I'm concerned. Especially for these older tractors, because it will not hold up. The reason being, all the new motor oils, all the oil that you can go to any auto parts and buy is manufactured for a brand new engine. Plain, pure, and simple. The new Rotella is made for a brand new road tractor engine. A brand new engine from John Deere, International, whoever. That's what it's made for. The tolerances in new engines are 10 times as tight as what this tractor was built with. So it doesn't have to have that heavier oil where this does. And literally, quite literally, for the reason that the tolerances are not as tight. Also, this engine having a centrifuge on it, Rotella won't stand up to that. I tried it. I gave it an honest try. The tractor that would hold 5 bars of oil pressure, changed it, 2.5 gallon of oil in it, started it up, and I watched the oil pressure go just like this within 5 minutes. So went and got this oil, put in it, fired it back up, oil pressure went back up to 50 and stayed right there. That told me all I needed to know about it. But it's like I said, you can use any motor oil, any grade, any brand. It doesn't matter to me. I know what works for my tractors. And I'm not going to tell anybody, you got to buy brand X for this tractor. It's the best. I'm not going to do that. Like I say, I know what works in my tractors and why. That's why I run what I run. No big deal about it. I know what it is. You know, this older equipment, you get anything older than about a 1980 model tractor, and they were never ever designed to run 15W40. Never. It's too thin. In my books for my Olivers, for example, if you're at 10 degrees Fahrenheit, need to run the tractor, it will say in the book you can run 10W40 in it because it's so cold. Alright? Now that don't mean when it's 80, 90 degrees it's an okay oil to run in it, because it's not. There are reasons they tell you these things. So my best advice to anyone out there with a car, a truck, a tractor, see what the manual says for the tractor. Plain, pure, and simple. If it says run 1540, then run it. Run any brand you want. If it says run straight 30 weight, run 30 weight. Just know the 30 weight you're buying right now, straight 30W weight, 30 weight, is made for a brand new engine, not one 50 years old. There's a big difference in motor oil between then and now. You older guys especially will know what I'm talking about. Remember when you used to get a can of 40 weight and shake it like this and it just kind of bloop, 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 bloop? Well, now you get a can and it sounds like 40, 10W40. It's not as heavy. That's because this oil is made for a new engine, not a 50-year-old one. So you got to keep that stuff in mind. I just know what works for my equipment, me and my equipment. Some might call me crazy, maybe, but it works. And quite literally, that's the only thing that matters. is if it works and you're happy with it. Like most people think, stale tiger piss, STP, is garbage. Well, I can't agree with it because it works. It works for me. You can buy a can of this right here, Lucas oil additive. It's $10 a bottle or more. And you put a quart bottle to 4 quarts of oil. So this tractor, that would be an extra $20, $25 to do the oil change. This, $2.75, $3, and it does the same as this. You know, 1 bottle to 4 quarts. So it doesn't matter to me what you do. I just know what works for me. What keeps these old diesel engines I've got happy. So we'll be back here in a minute, guys. Finish getting the oil on this, and well, what I'm going to do is fill this half full of oil, dump the rest of this in it, and shake it up so it doesn't go in the engine as a blob. So we'll be back here in a minute. Okay, guys, I've got the last of the oil put in, last of the STP added to it. As I said, you know, people in oils are, you know, they're like buttholes to people. They always think theirs is the best. So get past that. Use whatever brand you like, and above all, read your owner's manual, operator's manual, and see what it says as far as what kind of oil the tractor takes. Is my biggest thing I can tell anybody about changing oil in a tractor, especially if they just got it. Take the time to find out what's supposed to be in it and make up your own mind what brand of oil to put in it. Like I say, it doesn't matter to me. I just know what works for me and my older tractors, because like I said, the oil you buy today is for brand new engines, basically. To find the old motor oils like we used to have for these tractors, you can't do it. So with that being said, I need to follow procedure and crank the tractor over before I start it to get oil back up in here. Well, you weren't supposed to start. My linkage here is sticking a bit, it appears. that kind of concludes our oil change video for this tractor. Pressure gauge up there was reading 5 bars, a little over 5 bars. And I haven't done the conversion on that to tell you how many PSI that is. So if anyone out there knows that conversion, let me know. Put it in the comments. 5 bars equals X number, you know, PSI. Lots of things on this tractor I'm still learning about, and you know, it's a learning experience. At any rate, guys, we'll see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Old Long's ready to go to work now. New injector pump, new tires, and she's ready for work. So guys, we'll see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And just remember, check your owner's manual if you got a question. We'll see you next time, guys.